Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, good morning everybody. I wish you all have a good day today. Here I'm Ani Zahro Zulfiana Ulfa as a moderator and first presenter in today's discussion. Gonna give you all an introduction about our topic. Today we're gonna discuss about historical perspective of contrastive analysis. Before it, I wanna ask you some question. Do you ever hear what is contrastive analysis? Or do you ever know about it? Now let me tell you a little case about the past. With the outbreak of World War II, the need arose for the United States military personnel to be able to communicate with both their allies and their enemies. Therefore, structural linguists, teaching methodologies, and behavioral psychologists collaborated to devise the most effective and economic method and techniques of teaching foreign language, in particular English as a foreign language. Contrastive analysis was considered the ultimate solution to all language teaching problem. So guys, from that case we know that contrastive analysis hypothesis is technical term that appeared after the outbreak of World War II. This technical claim as the most effective material for teaching foreign language. Contrastive analysis is a part of comparative linguistics, originally known as comparative philology. The history of comparative linguistics goes back to the 18th century when scholars began to compare different languages in systematic and detailed manner in order to find out whether there were correspondence between them. It aimed to find evidence for the existence of a common origin for a group of languages that are language that has existed before other language which was called the proto-language, and the language or words are those that have the same origin which called cognate language. Comparative linguistics divides in three types. First, comparative historical linguistics. This type have aimed at determining what language that has existed before other languages must have been like before any written records. For instance, some languages have compared the features of Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, and Old Persian in order to reconstruct the Proto-Indo-European language. The second is comparative typological linguistics. The activity of this type is comparing language as people are used today in other. For example, some linguists study the structural similarities between language, regardless of their story, as part of an attempt to establish a satisfactory classification or typology of language. And the last step is what we're gonna talk in this chapter: contrastive analysis. Contrastive analysis is aimed to identify aspects of the differences of or dissimilarities between two or more languages being contrasted. Modern contrastive linguists intend to show in what ways the two respective languages differ. That is, two languages are compared and contrasted with the aim of assisting second language learner by identifying the probable areas of difficulty they may encounter in learning the target language. And there are two kind of approach in contrasting. That's kind that will be present by the second presenter.
Well, I am the second presenter. I would like to explain you about what is constructive analysis. Okay, constructive analysis is the systematic study of a pair of language in order to identify their structural differences and similarities, usually for translation and teaching purpose. Modern constructive linguistics intends to show in what ways the two perspective languages differ in order to come up with some solutions to tackle practical problems. That is, two languages are compared and contrasted with the aim of assisting second language learners by identifying the probable areas of difficulty they may encounter in learning the target language. Okay guys, CA has also been used as a tool in translation theory to investigate problems of equivalence having the same meaning in two languages. Okay, the next is, do you want to know about what is applying constructive linguistic studies? Okay, there are three parts in applying constructive linguistic studies. They are dialect, register, style, and rhetoric. Okay, dialect is a variety of language spoken in one part of the country or by people belonging to a particular social group. So, dialect is our dialect between someone to somebody. Register is word, style, and grammar used by a particular group of people, usually sharing the same occupation or interest. And what is style of constructive analysis? Variation in a person's speech or writing according to the formality of the situation. Also, rhetoric style or language that is used to influence people. So, so guys, that's all the style of applying constructive linguistic studies. Well, after know what contrastive analysis is and its historical, here as the last presenter, I would like to share you about types of contrastive analysis that are divided into two types. First is theoretical and second is applied. According to PhysIAC, okay, let me introduce PhysIAC is scientist, guys. According to PhysIAC, in contrasting theory studies, the existence of differences or similarities in two more language can be used as comparison model and can determine how and which elements can be compared so that it will produce terms such as concurrent or semantic similarity, equivalent, and correspondence or similarities between words in two languages. From this picture below, PhysIAC states that theoretical contrastive study is language independent. Why he say independent? Because they do not only investigate how certain existing categories in language A are represented in language B. Instead, they seek the realization of the universal category X in A and B. Thus, theoretical contrastive linguistics has no direction from A to B or vice versa, but as illustrated. In this picture, the direction is from X to A and B. And what about applied? Applied contrastive analysis is a part of applied linguistics. Since it's introduced by Robert Ledoux in 19th and 50th centuries, contrastive analysis has often been used to solve problems such as avoiding mistakes in foreign language learning, to help transfer between two languages in the process of translating text from one language into another, and last, to look for lexical similarities in the process of compiling a bilingual dictionary. And major task of applied contrastive studies is explaining why some features of the target language are more difficult to acquire than others. It is such contrastive study, namely pedagogical constructive analysis, which we will discuss in the remainder of this chapter, or it will be presented by the second group. Well, everybody, I think that's all for our presentation today. Thank you for your nice attention and forgive every single mistake that we have done. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.